this is important for your homework, to think about the signals. And this requires, Asaf, if you can help us get data of closed one. And meaning, I want to understand if you can get me a list of closed one in the last, it could be a year, and we'll try to identify it. And before our class, which is very soon, but this is a very important step. So you can upload the list to Gemini, to ChatGPT, and ask him for patterns. And I'll share these signals, and he already knows. If you ask him, he already knows. He can tell you hiring patterns, but you tell him to be specific and find patterns that you can detect, publicly available patterns in your closed one. So we want to do, okay, for this size of audiences, we want to do segments within segments. So one segment could be industries. You choose a segment by pain points. Another thing that I just think about is the location they want to ship to. I mean, I don't know if a company does like, I want to ship one day to US, and the next day I'm going to ship to Japan, and the next day I'm going to ship all over, right? There's one segment maybe that they're very scattered around the world. Maybe another segment always ships to one location.
There's a difference between that. Like, there's a difference between I always ship to LA, and then there's like, companies that have like one warehouse in the US and one in Europe. Like, yeah, for sure that would make a difference.
Yeah, okay. Because if a lot of companies only ship to the to LA, we need to find segment within the segment, right? We want to make sure that we don't have too broad of a list, then we end up with not context, not the right context. And you'll see in a few minutes what I mean by that, right? We don't know if it's going to work. We're going to do tests. It's going to be the whole process until we figure it out. It's going to take around a quarter. But if you just keep testing, but it requires a little bit of stamina. Now, collect the data. If you find a certain a good segment, then you collect the number of companies, and you collect the data from multiple sources. For the marketplace example, amazing. It's amazing because basically what you're telling me that you already have the data. Like if I would have think about the publicly available data, I would go to tools that I'll share with you, but we don't know if there are tools that are giving me a good data. So if it's within your PLG motion, that is what it is. It's perfect. But if not, like for staff, for enterprise companies, I would assume you would have to choose a segment from either from let's say closed one patterns, and then tell ChatGPT or look for other companies. Only after we have the segment, we will know for sure which tools to use. And by the way, you can also ask the chat. In my exercise, I did it for you with Gemini, and I got some nice data sets. Now, after you have that data set, you want to prioritize based on that. So if you have a scoring system or an SDR team that needs to prioritize their leads, he needs to get scoring based on that. And when we don't have a lot of intent data, we don't have a large scoring system yet. We just test it, but we should score this specific test higher than just a regular outbound lead, for example. So it should be outbound with intent. Now, if we are targeting enterprise company, we want to map out the buying committee using tools like ZoomInfo or Lucia. Okay, because when we talk about outbound, we do want to do a lot, to create a system and send hundreds of email a day.
I think so.
The most important thing is the campaign. It should be in context. Let's say we are doing a campaign for companies that are doing, let's say, Japan to LA route. If there's a thing, then we're going to mention it in the context of the email, of the campaign, of the call, of the script. Anything that we present to them, it will be in the context of the segment.
For sure.
Focus on the lowest hanging fruit. So what is screaming out of the depth? Just talk to sales. Ask them like what, or listen to calls, like what is patterns, or upload to ChatGPT. What is patterns people are seeing? If suddenly that's how we got to know that the competitor has been acquired, because suddenly there's a new thing that's happening in the market that you never know about. Maybe ChatGPT doesn't know about. Just ask the sales. I'm going to share with you 3 specific use cases for this intent data. So we have the homework. I want you to look at the signals. I want you to consult with sales team. I want you to take out closed one from recent times. If it's Udevor, maybe last quarter. For stuff, it's last year. And try to identify what are the buying intent specifically for your segment. I want you to segment those customers, those closed one or those booking customers, and see if they have a unique pain point that your solution can solve. Maybe you are stronger at in the marketplace at certain geographies, right? Maybe you cover more geographies that are there. There is new vendors that offer more discount at certain geographies or different specific routes.